I'm Alison from Boomerang Pilates and from the MoveSmart teacher training program. We're going to go through a little back flow today. So you can start by coming onto your hands and knees. You want to get a nice wide spread to your fingers and let your butt untuck. So let everything just shimmy down, let your ribs soften, let your butt stick up towards the ceiling, and let your head roll down towards the floor. Just do a little bit of a shift back and forth from side to side, letting everything get a little bit juiced up, right? If this feels uncomfortable for your back, you want to minimize your range a little bit. And then we're going to come to center, and you're going to lift up the base of your ribs and press your arms really strong down into the floor without tucking your butt. We're going to try and find a good stable neutral. And then we're going to just do a little cat-cow flow. So tailbone curl, low back articulates. Try and really find some movement in through here instead of jumping straight up to your mid-back. Curve through your spine, stomach muscles sliding up to line the front surface of your spine. Curl all the way around, drawing the crown of your head towards your tailbone. And then let your tailbone release and your low back release. And here's a challenge. Can you lengthen through your spine without dumping your ribs? Find that connection in between the vertebrae that run between your shoulder blades, preferably without squeezing your shoulder blades together, because this is finicky cat-cow. So think of bringing your chest forward and keep your eyes on the floor so we don't overdo the neck. All right, so we're going to flow through that 3 times. Tailbone curl, low back, mid back, upper back, widen the shoulder blades, curve through the neck, reach the crown of the head towards the tailbone and the tailbone towards the crown of the head, release, Supple and slide up towards the ceiling, low back release, keep some control of the base of your ribs, sliding wide through your collarbones and your shoulder blades, bringing the chest forward and sliding the eyes to the front of your mat. Tailbone curl, low back, mid back, upper back, shoulders, press your arms down into the floor. You are, of course, staying within the range that's appropriate for you, right? Just because I can go to this range doesn't maybe mean that you should. No pain, no strain. And then come back to neutral. Tuck your toes into the floor and set your hips back towards your heels. Let your head relax. From here, slide forward and slide back. Slide forward and slide back. Come back up onto your hands and knees, and this time you're going to actively push your hands down into the floor and pull your arms back as though you could pull your hands towards your knees. And ideally, you're really going to feel your core muscles turn on here. This is a great little trick from Perry Nicholson from Stop Chasing Pain. Love his work. Now you're going to shift back, and your range is going to be much smaller. This now becomes a working motion instead of a mobility, like a nice free flow mobility. And slide forward. Keep pulling your hands down into the floor and back towards your knees. Shift and slide forward. Nice and easy across the tops of your shoulders. Trying again to avoid a big tuck to your pelvis, right? We're trying to avoid this shape. One more. Slide back and pull forward. Now we're going to do a little bit of back extension. So for those of you who are familiar with the thoracic stretch over the half dome, we're going to use a half dome if you have such a thing, or a rolled up towel is a good one, a rolled up yoga mat. If you know you're tight in your back and your neck, you're going to want to have something to support your head with. Lie back, place your half dome or whatever you're using as a support underneath your shoulder blades. You can have your legs down flat if you're pretty mobile. If this feels too tight for you, bend your knees. Totally good, either one. We're going to take 2 breaths here, filling the back and sides of the ribs. So really try and find a nice focus to your breath in, and then breathe out through your mouth, letting the ribs settle down towards the floor. Big inhale, big exhale. Keep letting the back of the rib cage settle down towards the ground as you shift and find another spot. Just move 1 or 2 vertebrae up or down as you please, and take a moment to let the backs of your ribs settle down towards the floor. You might need to put something under your head to support you. You should be able to swallow comfortably in this position. We are looking to really get the back nice and wide wherever it's not on the half dome, and lifted and articulating through the vertebrae in the places that are up on the top. If you have osteoporosis or osteopenia, you should not be putting something rigid underneath your spine, so you want to use a rolled up towel or 2 rolled up towels, one on either side of your spine. Take another little shift here, find another spot, shimmy your butt into the ground, let your back relax, hang out here. Again, big inhale, open into the back and sides of the ribs, and then let it all out. Big inhale. Let it all out. So now we're going to add a little bit more work to it. You're going to bend your knees. Place your hands behind your head and curve yourself so that the base of your ribs is dropping right down towards the floor and you're coming up. This looks remarkably like it's going to be a sit-up kind of action, and although it looks like that, we're still mostly really thinking about this articulation of the spine. It's going to make your cat-cow feel totally different. So, good link to the fingers, support the back of the head, slide your ribs back over the half dome, or the whatever you're using, and then slide your sternum forward again. So really think about moving from here, right in between your boobs. That's where you're moving from. Slide back, and slide forward. I'm allowed to say that, it's my own channel. There are no rules. Slide back, and slide forward. And now you're going to roll just a little bit over onto the left-hand side of your spine. You're going to go on a tiny bit of an oblique angle, but it's not like an oblique sit-up where you would be trying to create a twist. We're just trying to immobilize along the outside edge of the vertebrae. And slide back up. Slide back. Roll forward. And then shift over, same thing on the other side, rolling along the right-hand side of your vertebrae, allowing for length through your abdominal muscles and articulation through your spine. I'm not too fussed about where you inhale and exhale here. You breathe in a way that makes you feel good and strong and supported and mobile. Curve back up, come to center, and then roll yourself over to your side. Slide your half dome out from underneath you and come on back onto your hands and knees. Fingers spread wide, hands below your shoulders. Get a nice sense of relax, and we're going to go back to that shift, but you're going to go wide, wide with your knees this time. So take them all the way out to the side and shift, and we'll do a little circle around and forward, really getting the hips moving and seeing how this feels. Maybe do a little drop down of the chest and a push up of the chest away from the floor. And then change directions. Shift, right, press up. Drop down through the chest as you reach towards the hips. Come on back up. Bring your legs back to center. Starting from your neutral, inhale for nothing. On the exhale, tailbone curl, low back, mid back, upper back. Curve through your neck, pull the crown of the head towards the pubic bones and the pubic bones towards the crown of the head. And then unfurl and lengthen through your spine. And again, as we come into this upper back mobility, does it feel different this time? Do you feel like you can get a little bit more of that slide forward of your chest because you have better ability to articulate your thoracic spine, right? The spot right in here. So from your extended position, tailbone curl, low back, mid back, upper back, shoulder blades wide, arms pressing strong down into the floor, connect the crown of the head towards the pubic bones. And last time, unfurl the sit bones and the tailbone. Slide with support through the lower back, through your upper spine, finding that nice sense of strength and mobility for your upper body, and then release. Come back into neutral, tuck your toes underneath you, and slide back, pressing your hands into the floor. So this is not a collapse, we're pushing the hands in front. Walk your hands around to the left, reaching your sit bones towards the wall behind you. Big breath through the right-hand side of the ribs. Walk yourself back to center, and then walk your hands around to the right, reaching your left sit bone down towards the wall behind you. Big breath in between these ribs, open them up. Come back to center. And from here, take a nice big breath and articulate through your spine as you roll yourself back up to center. And have a lovely day.